Zoom buddies. My name's Erin.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not your average Disney adults.
Bringing you the hottest takes on all things theme parks.
So, today we are going to be doing a little series, and this will be the first part of our series, on our favorite Disney parks / fun facts that maybe you didn't know about the parks.
Yeah.
So, take it away, Kate, because this is Kate's day.
Jumbo Wilderness Explorers.
Yes!
We are on our way to Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Hell yeah.
My favorite theme park of Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
so great. It's bringing Disney the touch of Disney magic to a zoo.
Which, that
doesn't sound great when I say it that way, I feel like, but it's
like kind of a glorified zoo. Like, I feel like zoos have sort of negative connotations.
Well, more often than not.
Right. But this seems a lot more of a better environment for the animals.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I guess.
No, well, I mean, that's definitely true. There's a lot of actual facts involved in that and how well they take care of their animals. So, right. We'll start out by saying that.
Right.
And it definitely is not like a traditional zoo by any means. It's a theme park still at its core. It's beautiful and amazing, and it's, again, I know we always talk about like the vibe of things and like the feel of things, and just being there is so like relaxing.
It is.
It's so beautiful. Like, there are so many places to take pictures. Like, if you love animals, you love nature, like, it's the feeling of being in nature, but with like Disney magic to it. Yeah. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
So that's why I love it. I also worked there, which some of you probably know, maybe know if you listen to our other episodes, our origin story. But yeah, I worked in merchandise at Animal Kingdom. I worked in Africa at the Mombasa Marketplace, and got to wear this really ugly tribal print muumuu.
But it probably was comfy.
It was, but like, I was there for the spring college program that started in January and it went till May.
So it was probably cold.
And it was cold for the first 3 months. And I know you're probably thinking, it wasn't cold because it's Florida, but it was cold. Like, they had winter options for us, but like, you still had to wear the dress, like the muumuu.
Yeah.
And you couldn't wear, like, I would wear leggings under it, but you'd have to roll them up so like you couldn't see them. And then like, so my like ankles are like exposed.
Because you had to like have the
illusion.
Yes, the illusion.
The immersion of like, oh, we're in Africa.
Right.
But it was cold to the point where we would be wearing jackets, and our like shift leaders would come by with those like hot hands.
Oh my gosh.
And we'd put them in our pockets.
That seems like something that would only happen in Buffalo. For real.
I was like, what happened? But yeah, it was only like that for a little while.
Did you? You probably got to see the show a lot. The one where the guys come out and play and dance.
The drummers. There was the drummers, and there was Burudika, which was it was a band that played there, and they played like every hour and a half or something. And if you were working Africa Porch, which was just kind of like doing, and it's called merchantainment, so it's like you're engaging with the guests. Kind of like trying to sell them stuff, but just kind of like being part of the story sort of thing. So like we would sell like instruments, we would sell like little bongo drums and little tambourines, little like flute things. So like, in theory you could buy them and like join the band or whatever. But if you were out there on the porch when the band would come out, sometimes the shift leaders would like let you go out and dance. Like, so that you could be like, you're part of it sort of thing. And like, so I ended up like learning the dances and learning the songs.
See, I feel like that would have been the job for me. It's just like really to get people to go up there. Like, that would be so easy for me to do.
It was super fun. Like, and then if you had that position in the morning, like when it was like rope drop and people are like beelining it to Kilimanjaro safaris. And we would have these like, You've probably seen them literally at the mall. The like fur hats with like animal ears.
Yeah.
And then they come down and have the paws.
Yes.
Like we had those. Or we would just have like these paw, like the Mickey gloves.
Yeah.
But they were like animal hands.
Yeah.
And like you would just stand out there and just
And
wave.
wave.
And like the kids would all come by and like give you like high fives and stuff.
How cute. I don't think you've ever told me any of that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And then there also used to be a little merchandise location up at Rafiki's Planet Watch. And if you worked in Africa, you also had to go work up there. So you got to wear this cute little outfit. That was my favorite outfit. It was like...
You slayed.
It was like... I think so. It was very good for like the non-binary folks. It was great.
I feel like Disney is good for that in general. Like it's
gender
all
neutral.
very
It's
generic.
Yeah. Yeah, except for the
moo-moo.
moo-moo. That was horrible. It was like this cute like green, like olive green, like and beige. I don't know if we can find a picture of it. Maybe we could put it in. But yeah, you looked like you were like on safari or whatever, and you got to work with some of the people who were like animal handlers when you were up there. So you would take money,
cool.
like you would take donations, which we'll get into that. But they would have little like shows where they would bring out like a lizard or a snake or like something small that's like safe to handle, like a bird, and they would teach people about whatever animal it was, and we would stand like next to them and like collect money, and people would donate towards the conservation fund. So that was cool. Like
That's
it was
so
like a
cool.
little bonus thing that we got to do.
Yeah.
On top of just like, oh, I work at a gift shop. It was like there was more behind it.
Right.
But yeah, that's a long story about why I love Animal Kingdom. That's my home base.
And it's also the baby of the parks. Like it's the newest made park.
Yeah. It literally it debuted in 98 and I went in 2001. So like I was there right at the beginning.
Yeah. I can't even remember when I went, but I know I went. And I feel like my parents, like when you talk to some people about making their vacation and like they just want to do the main ones and you're like, no, you need to do Animal Kingdom. I feel like that's how it was with my parents, like at first.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people, unfortunately, still feel that way.
I think they're missing out.
They're definitely missing out.
And that's why we're going to tell you about it. Because if you haven't learned some of these facts and cool things about this park, then you're in the right place.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll start with, we can start with kind of our favorite parts of the park or features, restaurants, shows.
Our favorite things to do at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. And then we'll get into kind of the fun facts and things you may not know about the park. So, you can go first since this is your fave.
Okay. We'll start with favorite ride or attraction. My favorite is Kilimanjaro Safaris.
It's very good.
I love animals, and like that, it's like as close as you're gonna get to going on a safari, like in the wild.
Yeah.
I mean, like you could, but
yeah.
How many of us are gonna go do that?
Right.
I don't know.
In Africa,
it just seems safer to me.
It does. No, it does.
And they give you like, depending on who you have as like your driver, like they are either like really funny or like super knowledgeable. Like they come up with like all this trivia, and we've ridden it dozens of times. I've ridden it so many times that half the time I'm telling the facts before the driver's even saying it. Like I'm like, I know what they're gonna say, but like they still come up with stuff that like I didn't know.
Yeah. And honestly, like it's a relaxing ride in itself. Like how long is it? It's typically like 15 minutes maybe?
It's longer.
Longer? Yeah. Like you're on there for a while, which is nice.
Right.
Like
I mean, especially if you had to wait in line for a long time and
yeah,
like you're really getting your time's worth from it.
Yeah.
It just like, and sometimes if you can catch it when it's not super busy or crowded, like sometimes the drivers will stop a little bit more so you can like see, take more pictures. If it's like really busy, they kind of don't really stop too much. But like
Yeah.
sometimes like and every time you go on it, it's different. Like you're gonna see
It
things that
is.
you haven't seen before. The animals, you never know what they're gonna be doing. Like if you go in the morning, they're usually more active. You get to see like the lions actually awake. Like
Yeah.
it's so cool.
It is really cool. And honestly, like I remember you giving me that tip to go in the morning because there were times that I went, I think it was during like lunchtime. There would be nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the point of this? And then when you're like, go in the morning, we did that, and that was the most animals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well,
That's why
That's
the first
a-
thing you do,
yeah, for sure.
in my opinion. I remember when I would work like the early opening shift and being there super early, even sometimes before the sun was up, and then the sun would come up, and then you would hear the lions like roaring.
Oh my
was so
gosh. Oh,
It was
that's so cool.
I'm
It's
I'm like
amazing.
setting up my little shop for the day, and then I'm like, you just hear like, like
Wow.
scary,
That's so cool.
but cool. It was so cool.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
that's my favorite. I also remember when it used to be like the scary version.
Oh, yeah, where they had the whole thing about
The
the poachers.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, I don't
It
think
wasn't
that's scary.
scary.
I think that's
it was real.
informative. Yeah.
It was too real for the world. It was pretty sad. Obviously, you know they showed you a deceased elephant,
Yeah.
but then like in the end, you saved the baby.
Yeah. That's sad.
And then they had the effect with the bridge that would like
Yeah.
that was cool. I like
They
that.
still kind of do that.
I haven't had them do that in a while, but
Oh.
maybe sometimes-
Maybe people literally get
people
like
really probably did get scared, like thinking
We're
that
gonna
they're
fall-
they're
we're
going
gonna
into
crash.
the crocodiles.
Yeah.
The Nile crocodiles are right under you.
Ooh. Maybe
Bye.
some yeah, maybe some people should.
Some people
go.
should. I'll push them in.
I will too. Okay.
What's your favorite ride?
I really had a hard time with this, to be honest, because I really love. Well, I put
There's a
Flight of
lot.
Passage,
Good choice. Good
but I
choice.
really love Dinosaur, Obvi, and Expedition Everest. Those are so good.
There's really a lot of good attractions
Yeah.
at Animal Kingdom.
And for all different reasons, too. Like,
Right.
Dinosaur has, like, such an amazing, like, pre-show.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Seeger is bae.
Yes. And, yes. And just the whole, like, premise of the ride and that you're going to the Cretaceous period right before
Let's
the
go get our dino.
asteroids. Yeah, and it's just so fun. Like, I actually really wish that I would have went on it when it was Countdown to Extinction.
Yeah.
Because I heard it was
I didn't.
scary.
I didn't go on it, but I know my dad and my brother did. They did buy like the on-ride photo too.
Man.
And my brother was
like,
teeny tiny. I was too scared. Back when I went to Disney the first time, I was too scared to go on most things. Shocker.
Did you do It's Tough to Be a Bug?
I did. I did.
You
I
did it?
that.
Did you cry?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No,
Good
but
for you.
that one I was like, that sounds scary. I'm not doing that one.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Yeah. So honestly, that I love that.
I love the smell of hot rubber dinosaurs.
Yeah. There's something about it.
It's just
There is like yes, I know. It's the second you said that I was like, I know
hot-
that.
it's just it's like I want to like bottle it up.
Yeah, for real. Let's.
Is that a scent? Can we buy that somewhere?
I don't know. They should
They
sell
sell
that.
like HHN
the Magic Candle
Fog,
Company
they
or
sell,
whatever.
Like
Yeah.
Pirates water. Like come on, hot rubber dinosaurs.
That's great. I love that, especially if they close the ride down.
Oh,
Please give that to us. We'll
I
be first in
want
line.
to put that big the cephalopod the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
that burps at you. I
Yeah.
want to put that in my house.
I want the not the Carnotaur. Is that what it is? No, it's not
The
a
big scary one.
Yeah, the big scary
Yeah.
one.
That's him.
Yeah, I want him. I think Ben would second that.
Which one? The one that like is just the head that shoots out at the end.
Yeah.
It's just like
I'll mount it on our wall.
Or there's the one that runs after you.
Yeah, I know. I like
or
the one
there's
that
the
runs.
one where you take the picture.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah. No, I love it. I like it all. Anyway, and I didn't even put that as my favorite ride. But Flight of Passage is unmatched. Like, I just remember the first time I went on it, and when that thing, when the you're on the, I say it's a bike, it's not, but when you're on the back of the Ikran,
The Ikran.
it like breathes
I
between
know.
your legs, and like I'm like I don't know.
It was
It was so
mind-blowing.
cool.
The first time I went on it, I literally cried afterwards
Yeah.
because I just like
It
hadn't
was
experienced
amazing.
anything like that.
And it smelled, and like the way that the breeze hits your face, like it's just so
and
masterfully
like
done.
the water just kind of like splashes you like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, the 4D is like a very
It's
good
amazing.
effect.
There's just one part that I just want them to fix, and it's the part with the like sparkly floaties. There's just one part where when you're wearing the glasses, it just looks really fucked up.
I think it needs like it already needs
Like
an
it needs
update.
update. Yeah, like they just need to
it needs to be
remaster it.
clearer.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But keep it as
No,
is.
I love
but
it
like,
though. It's so
yeah.
good. Like, and I don't like screen rides usually. Like I get motion sick very easily, and but that one because it's so it's like Forbidden Journey where it's so believable to me. Like I'm able to trick myself into thinking like, oh, I really am doing this.
Right.
It's not. It doesn't make me as nauseous.
Right. I love it.
And the smell, that smell of
is amazing.
Pandora, like,
oh my gosh, that is in a candle for sure.
It is.
They do have that.
We do have that.
Yeah. So, yes, that's my favorite one. I would say, but Dinosaur is probably a close second, and Expedition Everest is probably it's. I feel
They're
like
all
it's
good.
interchangeable. They're so good. They just need to fix the Yeti.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
I can't
Disco
accept
Yeti
it.
for the rest of all time.
I guess. Why can't they just like make a little hole and go behind him and fix him? Like they really have to take the whole thing apart.
It's built into the structure of the entire roller coaster and the entire like mountain.
But why can't they like find a way in and minimally fix it? And
I think it's too big. It's too much.
Yeah.
I also heard that they, with the animatronic dinosaurs in Dinosaur, they put them in the foundation of the building too.
Why? Why are they doing
Because they're
that?
so big and like
They're
need
huge.
like that support
Wow, that makes
to
sense.
anchor it,
Yeah,
sort of thing.
that makes sense.
But I did get to ride Expedition Everest on its anniversary because that was when I was working there. When I was working there, it was the 15th anniversary of Animal Kingdom, but it wasn't the 15th anniversary of Everest because that didn't come to the park till a few years later. But it was some anniversary of it. And they let all the cast members, after the park closed, ride Everest as many times as you want. Like, just unlimited. Just again and again and again. And then they had, like, Mickey premium bars and Mickey ice cream sandwiches and stuff that you could just have for free. And literally go on it as many times as you want with the lights on.
Cool.
So like the part where everyone thinks you go upside down,
you
like,
saw.
you're just going backwards. It's
That's
just
so
the
cool.
speed and the angle that you're at makes it seem like you go upside down. And then getting to see the Yeti with the lights on was
So cool. That's awesome.
Dream come true.
That's awesome. All right, favorite restaurant.
Ooh. Well, I've actually only eaten here like a few times. And they only have like small plates. But I like the Nomad Lounge, which is connected to Tiffin's. So it's right on the outside of Pandora, like right where that bridge is.
Yeah.
There's Tiffin's is the main sit-down restaurant, and then Nomad Lounge is like the bar and small plate area. And it has like this really nice little like patio. Like it's covered.
Yeah.
And you can sit out there, and like the seating is like these little like beanbag chairs and like little like, you know, cushions and stuff, and it's very like the theming of it is just really pretty, and like the decor of it, and the food is so good. Like I had like those Wagyu beef like sliders there one time.
Don't they have like really good cocktails too? I've never been.
They have this book that has all the cocktails in it, and then like stories about them and like what they were inspired by or whatever. And like the whole point of like the Nomad Lounge is kind of dedicated to all the research that went into making Animal Kingdom, like all the adventures that like these people went on to make the park, like all the research that went into going to the real places that inspired the locations that are in the park. So like they have pictures of the cast members and like Imagineers and stuff.
Wow, that's so cool.
Going on these journeys to like make it as authentic as possible. And
yeah.
And then you can also like, I remember the first time I went, they have these little like cards and you can like fill it out and it's like your name and where you're from and what you're doing on your journey and like and then they like hang them up, like there's a whole bunch of them, like so you're part of like
cool, like you're part of the adventure.
Yeah. It's a neat little place. It's just like small plates and stuff, and I've never eaten at the actual restaurant, but just going there and like having like a drink and like sitting out, it's just, again, it's the vibe of Animal Kingdom.
I feel like someday we'll live there and then we could just go.
Just be hanging
like
out.
Get a fucking cocktail at Animal Kingdom and like sit in the lounge.
Listen to music.
Yeah, like why not?
People watch.
Yo, I'm about it. So for mine, I put Satu'li in Pandora. We always go there.
We do.
Every time we go because it's so delicious.
It's so good.
The best way I can describe this food is kind of like a Chipotle bowl.
Yeah.
But like the meat
Better.
is so good. Yeah, it's
like fresh.
It's very fresh, and the crema they use is delicious. And they have like those little bubble balls. I don't know what they're called. Boba. Thank you. Bubble balls.
And they're like a vinaigrette inside of them.
Yeah,
they're like
and yes,
tangy.
Yeah, so it gives you like, it's
good.
It's so good. It's
really
so good. It's like it could be kind of fatty tasting, but the boba kind of cuts the fat with the vinaigrette.
It's so good.
All the meat is good. I think I just get chicken usually, but Ben, I think it's beef, and that's usually delicious when I try his. And then Kate usually gets this mousse it's like a mousse.
Blueberry like cheesecake. It's so good.
Wow. Yeah. And it's a sit down, it's a quick service.
It's quick service, yeah.
So
mobile order.
Yeah, you can yes. Hell yeah, that's the way to go. Honestly, like I love that food. Yeah. That food is delicious.
I usually they have like a drink there too. It's non-alcoholic. It's like pineapple juice like mixed with like Powerade or something. It's like green, the one that I always get. Yeah. It's got the pineapple slice in it, and that's so good. Like when it's hot and like you're like dehydrated.
It just really.
It's so good.
It slaps.
It's like a melon like drink. I don't know. It's so good. Do you remember when? Fun fact time. McDonald's used to be at Animal Kingdom.
No. Wow.
Yeah, there was McDonald's in the theme parks. There was a location at what was downtown Disney, and they had a location inside of
oh my God.
Animal Kingdom, and I have a cup from it. Like I have a McDonald's Animal Kingdom cup.
Oh my gosh! Of course you'd go to McDonald's
because they didn't. I don't think they had They didn't have the full menu. I think they just served McDonald's fries. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they
fries.
Like I don't think they had like, but I think they did.
They had to have had a burger.
I think they had a burger,
like a Big
some
Mac.
sort, but I don't. They didn't have like the full menu.
Yeah, that makes sense. A limited.
Because I literally remember that like, the cup that I got isn't actually from when I went. I got it at like a antique store, but
okay.
like I did physically see it there.
Cool. That's really interesting. What is in place of it now?
Well, it was right where Restaurantosaurus is. I think it might have still been called that. It just like it was like with McDonald's or whatever.
Interesting. Oh, did not know that.
Yeah, it's wild. It's
wild.
Get it?
It's wild.
That's what we used to say because we couldn't say like have a magical day, like because
have
it's
a
not
wild
Magic
day.
Kingdom, we would say have a wild time.
Have a wild time. I'm Brittany Broski right now.
And then like we would tell, how I started the video by saying Jumbo, and like that's how you like greet people. And we would say that too, but then like you kind of got discouraged from saying that after a while because people sometimes would think you were saying jumbo, like you're like
What? No. Did this happen? People
would be like, "What'd you say?" It didn't happen to me specifically. But they kind of stopped saying that.
You know what I immediately thought of?
The guy.
Okay, we have to share this
The guy?
story.
The
Yeah,
old guy?
yes.
No.
We have to share this story. This is such a this is such a It's just funny, okay? I'm sorry. It's hilarious. So we went on Flight of Passage.
Our most recent trip.
Our most recent trip, we went on Flight of Passage, and we got we got paired with a couple people who were riding ACVs, and there was this one older gentleman.
It was like a husband and wife, I want to say.
Yeah,
They were like maybe like 70-ish.
something, and I'm not sure he was really all that with it. I don't
He
know.
was not.
So we go to the pre-show thing, and fly, and
Move
wave your
around.
arms,
Move
move
around a
around
bit.
a little bit. So, whatever, we get past that part, and we're trying to leave, and the 7-year-old guy is just staring at the screen, like
Right.
he's just
So like you have to
Standing
stand
there.
on the numbers in front of the screen.
Right.
And it's like 1 through 15 or whatever, or 14. And like we were like number 7 or 8 or something, and he was like number 14 or whatever. So he's like the last one, but technically the first one
Yes.
to go into the next room.
yes.
And that's what happened, was like the guy was like, okay, and like the door opened, like head on into the next room, we're gonna get you ready to blah blah blah. And he just like stood there, and we're all
He
just
was
like,
just standing there.
we're all like waiting for him to, and then he's just like,
He's staring at the screen.
he's staring at the screen. We're all turned
around, exactly. So then the guy,
We're like,
the guide or the cast member, like, moves him on, and we go to the next part. And I don't think anything, he
we
ends
didn't do
up
anything
moving
there.
through.
Yeah.
So he's in the other half of the room, and we're in the second half. And we were just thinking, we're like, how is this guy, like, gonna get on the... You have to straddle this thing, this Ecron simulator.
Yeah, you gotta ride it.
And, you know, he's a bigger, older guy who's, again, not really all that with it. And we're like, how is he going to get
I'm like,
in?
how
Like, is
does
this
he
going
know
to...
what's going on right now?
Right.
At all.
At all. And so we joked before the ride started. We're like, he's going to be stuck in Pandora. Like, he's going to be stuck on the
leaving.
Ecron.
He's never leaving.
He's never leaving. And so, sure enough,
We walk into the next room.
and he's still there.
He's sitting in the
He's
chair.
still
The ride was
sitting there.
over. The ride was over, and the screen is up and everything. Like
People have left.
We've
People
all-
are leaving. We're
collect your belongings and get the hell out. And he's still sitting there like
this. We literally almost pissed our pants. Like, it was so funny because we're like, oh, I guess he's stuck here forever.
He bonded with his avatar, and
Yeah.
he's never, like, that's it. Like,
Yes.
they mind melded. He is the avatar.
He is. He's probably still there.
He's in Pandora living his best life. Good for him. That was
I'm sorry.
wild.
I'm sorry,
That
but
was
that
insane. It was so good.
it just was such perfect timing that we literally said that, and then we walked past him and he was still there. Like,
It couldn't have been like perfect. Like it was.
it was, yeah. Maybe you guys don't think it as funny as we did, but it was great. Maybe it had to be there. All right. Okay. Favorite show.
Favorite show. So again, another fun fact is back in the day, Animal Kingdom used to have a parade. They actually had multiple parades throughout the years, and my favorite parade was the Mickey's Jam and Jungle Parade.
That sounds amazing.
And I actually, again, got to watch it when I was working there. It was still running. And if you were at the pin cart, that's next to, like, where they do, like, the roasted, like, cashews and stuff, you know?
Right.
That,
Oh yeah.
like, where the drums are,
Mhm.
that was annoying. because there were all those bongos and stuff, and the kids
Right.
would just be beating on them all day. So like if you were sitting at
You'd
the
have
pin
a
cart,
splitting headache.
you'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But if you were at the pin cart when the parade went by, you basically were just forced to watch the parade because, you know, it was all roped off and stuff. So like people
That's
weren't
fun.
really shopping or anything.
Yeah.
Like, and you had a perfect spot to watch the parade.
That's
so
so
I got to
cool.
watch it so many times, and it was just so good. It's a different kind of parade. Again, it's Animal Kingdom, so it's not really like it has characters in it, but it's not relying on like
Who did they have in it?
so each float had one of like the Fab Five. So like
Oh.
Rafiki was the head of the parade. He was like
Makes sense.
on his like expedition, and then all the other characters were on their like little like whatever kind of mode of transportation they would have. Like Minnie had like this cute like polka dot like Jeep, like in her
Oh,
little
cute.
safari outfit, and then each of them would sing like a little song, like to get crowd participation. Like hers was pata 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 pata, and she would get everybody to
What does that mean?
I don't know. That was hers, and then like Donald would sing the Aiko Aiko Ane, that he would sing that song, and then Goofy would sing like it was like a samba. He would be like Mascanada, Mascanada. Anyway,
I love that you know it.
and then in between each of the floats though were like animals, like puppeteered and like cool abstract, very artsy take on animals, like very vibrant colors and stuff. And like
Cool.
the costumes that the cast members were wearing were like, it was kind of, you know how like Festival of the Lion King, they have
Yeah.
like, they're animal inspired but without being straight up like an animal, but you can tell, oh, that's an alligator, or that's
Right.
whatever. They had these big puppeteered like floats and stuff. And then they would
Cool.
also have families or like couples or whoever in the parade too. Like, you know, at Magic Kingdom they have like that one
Yeah.
family
In
This
the
one-
car.
This one, between every there would be a character, an animal, and then a family. A character, an
Aw,
animal.
that's
Like there was a bunch
awesome.
of, you could like there would have been at least maybe like
Why don't
5
they
or
do
6
this shit
people.
anymore?
I don't know. And it was so
Ugh.
cool, and they would have the safari hats on with the Mickey ears.
Yeah.
And then you would just like,
Oh my gosh. That's cute. I've never
and that
saw
song is a banger. It's a good song.
it. Yeah. I'll have to look
And
it
then
up.
Mickey was the very end of the parade.
Yeah, of course. He's the best. Well, I like Donald, but
You know.
he is the best. My favorite show is what you mentioned, Festival of the Lion King, which I feel like that
I
is
would say
also
that's
yours.
my favorite now. Without that, there's no
Yeah,
parade.
that's
but
incredible. We always cry when we watch that show.
They're
It's
so
always
talented.
they are.
It's
it-
so beautiful. The Lion King soundtrack is one of my top of all time.
Yep. It's very, very well done. The singers are fantastic. Like all of them. Every single one. They all bring so much energy to the performance.
The Tumble Monkeys, incredible.
The birds.
The birds,
Oh my
incredible. The
God.
guy who does the fire
Amazing.
and like the sword thing.
Amazing.
And then you got the giant Simba animatronic.
Amazing.
And he's so
And Pumbaa.
cute. They're so cute.
It's so cute. It's, oh my gosh. I'll never get sick of it. It really is.
I literally
truly-
could go to Animal Kingdom, and it's every hour on the hour. I could literally watch it every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
And I would not get sick of it. I'd be like, okay, another one. Another one.
Here's a question. Do the performers switch off? So like every hour on the hour, do they do every other like group of performers?
That's a good question.
Because every time I've gone, the guy who does like Mufasa and like Scar's song and everything
Yeah.
is the same dude.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are kind of like grandfathered in. Like the main ones, they've
Yeah.
been there.
Forever.
They're like pseudo Disney royalty sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
they are those performers.
So I
But
wonder
I've
if-
seen different ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I can't imagine they do
I
it
don't
every
think
time.
you could do it. Maybe you could, but
Maybe.
I'm sure they probably switch.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because especially what if someone gets like sick or something? you know?
Right.
They gotta have backups.
Right. No, 100%. That was, yeah. So that one's excellent. I actually also, I know you don't like it, but I liked the Finding Nemo one too. It's not as good as Festival of the Lion King, but I do like it.
The only thing I will say for it, and you know what I'm gonna say, puppets.
Yes.
I like that.
Where's my dad? I'm all alone. It's really
In
cute.
a big blue world.
It's cute. It's cute. I don't know.
I saw
like
it one time, and that was all I will ever need.
I wonder if they ever will replace that show, though. They have such a nice
I don't
theater.
think so. They just revamped it not too long ago.
Yeah, I
they,
think so.
Changed it.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know, because I haven't seen it.
Maybe you should
I'm a
again
hater.
and give it a chance.
I'm a hater because I have a phobia of fish, okay? Internet. That's what it is.
Ben doesn't like Finding Nemo because of him losing his wife in the very first
Literally,
scene. He's like, that's messed up. He's like, I don't like this. Anyways.
I do like the whole bit of the fish in the dentist office, though.
Yes.
Like, I like that.
Which is funny because I work at a dental office and we have fish. We have an
aquarium. We have a fish, too.
Do you?
Just one, though. We don't have, like, an aquarium.
Oh.
It's just, like, in a bowl.
Oh, no. He has, like, a saltwater aquarium.
See? It's like it really is, like, a trope.
It must be.
Of, like, dental office or, like, doctor's office with a fish tank.
It's very interesting. It's maybe it's because it's supposed to be calming for people.
I think so.
And you know, it's like serene, and it's like underwater fish, and
I
I don't have to think about the root canal I'm gonna get. Like,
Well,
okay, so then favorite meet and greet.
I'm doing an obscure one here, but I met Tarzan one time.
That's amazing.
At Animal Kingdom.
I'm highly jealous.
And I don't have pictures of it or anything because it like happened so randomly, and I don't think I really had anyone with me at the time, like to take a picture or whatever.
Right.
And like they didn't have like PhotoPass or whatever. And I just like was talking to him, and you know, he was in his little loincloth. It's literally.
I wonder if that's why they stopped, because he was like half naked.
He's a very well built individual, like was very tan.
Yeah.
And he wasn't fully like shirt, like he had like a
Yeah.
thing on, but I mean like you're still like
Yeah.
basically don't have much on, and he wore like these little like
Sandals?
like Birkenstocks, almost like Birkenstocks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, he was like, you know, he very much like when you talk to Ariel, how she kind of like doesn't really know about like the human world or whatever. Like he's like, you know, very like inquisitive of like why you're wearing what you're wearing, or like
That's so cool.
like learning about whatever. Yeah, he was cool. And like you know, Tarzan doesn't get that much love, but that's like a beloved thing from our time.
Talking about like top albums from Disney, that for me is up there.
So good.
It's easily top 3.
It really is. It is.
Oh, it's so good.
And I didn't meet Jane and Turk at Animal Kingdom. I did meet them at Magic Kingdom for Mickey's Not So Scary one year.
Oh my god.
And they were really cute. They were really cute.
Gosh. I love Jane.
Turk was picking bugs out of my hair.
I love that. Man, you have lice? That's not good. You should...
Well, I did. I don't have it anymore.
So I put Moana just because that was really the only meet and greet I've ever done at Animal Kingdom. And she was amazing. She was so cute. She showed us how to wayfind.
Yeah.
She was really cute. I mean, I really have nothing bad to say about some of these meet and greets. Like, the performers are so great. But
that actually is Moana.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. But I heard that Pocahontas has gotten off of the boats and now is doing personal meet and greets, which made me want to absolutely break down and cry because she is one of my favorites.
She's great.
So I need to go see her.
I met her one time, and I was Disney bounding as her, so that was fun.
Oh my god! I need to do that.
That was fun.
Also, this isn't technically a meet and greet, but we always love to see Divine.
She's an icon.
Oh my gosh. And I love how they change her foliage.
There's something that's like so beautiful and elegant, but also like strong and powerful.
Yeah.
Too.
I absolutely love seeing her. And it's almost like a surprise because she just
Sometimes
like,
she blends in
yes.
so well.
Oh,
And you wouldn't even know.
yes.
People walk right past her.
And don't even realize. Yeah, she's amazing. Okay, and lastly, favorite animal.
Yeah. Our favorite animal to see at Animal Kingdom. For me, it's bats. It's the flying foxes. They're in Asia in the Maharaja Jungle Trek.
Look at you.
And there actually is like 2 entrances into the bat exhibit.
Yeah.
You can either skip it because people are scared, or you can go in to see them. And they don't have like, it's like open air.
It's no glass, yeah.
So like, oh, they can get.
Do they ever like?
No, they're so like fat and happy and lazy. Like
they just want to hang there.
that's what they do. Is they're just soaking up the sun. They're fruit. They eat fruit. Like
yeah.
But they're huge though. They literally look like foxes, flying foxes.
They're adorable.
Like, their little puppy face.
They're like
and
wrapped.
They're fuzzy.
Yeah.
And then you'll see them like stretch their wings out. And
yeah.
I don't know. I think they're cute.
That's cute. No, I think they're cute too. But mine is the meerkats. Oh my god. I literally, when I go there, all I want to do is just hold one. Like, I just want to hold one or feed one. They're so
I just want to put my hand
cute.
and they could stand on it. And they could just be like this.
Move their head
or
around.
put them on my shoulder, and they could just be looking out.
It's so cute. And then I think last time we were there, there were like little babies out.
Oh my god.
Stop. They're so cute. Yes. In fact, when I was a kid in middle school, I did a project on meerkats. I did.
So it goes way back.
Yep. I read a whole book on them, and I did a report on them.
Nice.
So, yeah. All right. So, it's the fun fact segment.
Fun fact time.
For Animal Kingdom, and Kate has such a wealth of knowledge.
I have a lot of things to talk about here, but they're interesting, so bear with me here.
So, fun fact number 1.
Fun fact number 1. Well, just to throw it out there, Animal Kingdom opened on April 22nd, 1998. And if you did not know, April 22nd every year is
Earth Day.
Earth Day. So its anniversary is always on Earth Day, which is really cool.
I love that.
And when I worked there, it was the 15th anniversary, so there was a whole lot of like merch and like special events going on for it. And I actually got to work at a booth, and I'll segue this into my other fun fact here about the Disney Wildlife Conservation Fund. We would sell a lot of merch that was either the money went towards the conservation fund or the product itself, like, worked with like conservation efforts, or like stuff with like reusable materials or recycled materials or whatever.
I was going to ask that. That's cool.
The 15th anniversary, I got to like, I don't know why, but they picked me to stand at this table and like educate guests like about what we offered.
That's cool.
Like, oh, you're buying a souvenir, but it also is going to this. So like, thank you, that's cool.
Wow.
Sort of thing. And like we sold like bags and like bracelets that were made out of like recycled plastic bags, and like the money went to the actual artists in the countries that they were making them. Like, it was really cool.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And the conservation fund has donated more than $125 million
what?
to conservation efforts around the world since 1995.
Wow.
Which is really cool. You can donate by buying, or like part of the proceeds go to the fund when you buy specific merch that has the little symbol on it, but you can also literally round up, or you can make a donation at any Disney location. It doesn't have to just be at Animal Kingdom. It can be any of the parks, any of the hotels, and if you do, you get like a little badge. And I've collected a bunch of them because some of them are like really rare, like you can't get them. Like I got one from the cruise because I did the swimming with the stingrays, and money went towards the conservation fund. So you got these exclusive.
Was it a stingray badge?
It's like I'd have to show you what they look like. It's like a Castaway Cay exclusive badge.
Wow.
So you can donate anytime you're at the parks, like to this day, and you can like round up your change or whatever. Like every register has that like option on it.
Oh, cool.
And I feel like people don't know that.
I don't know that. If I did, I would have done it. That's
I mean,
cool.
we used to like ask people like, because we would try to like, you know, we would have contests and stuff, and I haven't really heard them do that much, but you know, I don't go as often as I used to when I lived there, but
Right.
So some of the cool things that they've done in the conservation fund so far is they're working on saving the butterflies.
Aww.
They've done a lot of work with like repopulating certain species of butterflies all throughout the U.S.
Are they like
and South
endangered?
America. Yeah, there's so many.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many animals.
Look at this. We're getting educated on the Doom Buddies
Yeah,
podcast.
so, like,
what the hell?
Animal Kingdom was like risky to begin with because Epcot was kind of not like a flop, but just like it was more of like an edutainment sort of park where it's like, yes, it's a theme park, but we want to teach you stuff
About the future
and it didn't
history.
land as hard with like kids.
Right.
In a way at the time that like resonated with them. So when they did Animal Kingdom with the thought of it being like a zoo and like educational, like they were like, ooh, like, you know, we don't want it to be like that or whatever. But yeah, I think they do a really good job of promoting conservation, and they do the Wilderness Explorers thing.
Yeah.
Like from Up, the little
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah.
and it gets the kids involved in like learning about the environment, learning about animals, learning about conservation, recycling, like all that good stuff in a fun way that like is like it makes sense to them, and it's not just like, oh, like I'm sitting here being taught like I'm in school. It's like, oh, I'm going on an adventure to collect my badge.
That's
and
so
I'm learning
cool.
about how I can do this. And like I've overheard so many like people like the kids talking to the cast members, and then they're like, so what would you do to promote whatever? And like the kids, it's so
That's
cute.
so cool.
That's so
honestly
cute.
like Disney inspires us in so many ways, just like in following your dreams and being the best version of yourself. But like there's something to be said about them also practically helping the environment and helping educate the public about it, and also like giving kids a chance to show them that they could do this and it might be something that they would want to do in their future, which is so inspiring. Like that's, I mean, that's like what the root of Disney really is. And I feel like the further we get away from that, where it gets to more entertainment versus like
the actual like heart and soul.
Yeah, of what the purpose was.
Walt was a huge animal lover. Like he won a lot of Academy Awards for doing nature documentaries back in the day. Like people don't know that. And one of his first attractions that he wanted to do was the Jungle Cruise, and he wanted to have real animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah,
he loved animals.
Yeah.
So I think that's another just cool thing to kind of carry on his legacy too, is like the Disney magic mixed with the real world of animals and preserving that. I have a whole bunch of more conservation facts because I just think it's so neat. So not only do they work with the butterflies, they also work with the sea turtles.
Stop!
So they have a resort called Disney's Vero Beach Resort.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been helping monitor, study, and protect sea turtles on the beaches outside of this resort for nearly 2 decades. And they recently celebrated the 1.5 millionth sea turtle hatchling recorded through this conservation effort.
Aww.
So they work alongside the local conservation organizations at Vero Beach and are kind of building a future for Florida sea turtles and how people can help save them and protect the ocean. And like, yeah, I've seen they do it every year. They do like these hatchings of these turtles at this resort. Like you can go there. I think
that's so cool.
It might be a vacation club resort or something. I know like Sue.
Yeah.
And her husband went and like saw the turtles and all that. Like I've seen videos of it. It's so
That's amazing.
It's so cool. It's beautiful. We love it.
I love that. I love turds. Little turds.
Little turds. Burglar turds.
Yep.
They also do a lot of work to protect the wildlife that live on Disney property. A lot of animals are native in that area, and the conservation team works with the local organizations to study and support the wildlife populations of the area. They support the pollinators, and
we're pollinators.
they also have the housing for the purple martins, which I'm sure I've pointed that out to you when we were at like Epcot.
Yeah.
Those white little, like, they look like little squashes or something, like little gourds.
Yeah.
And the purple martins like migrate there between the U.S. and Brazil every year.
Wow.
And, like, they have a home there at Disney.
That's amazing. Wow.
It's so cool.
See,
if you go during the Flower and Garden Festival, like, they have people there that, like, you can go on, like, a purple martin, like, tour. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this. This is incredible.
They've also done a lot of work with restoring and rescuing coral reefs, which we all know are
That's the foundation of our planet, y'all.
in trouble.
Yeah.
They're working on long-term strategies to restore reefs in Florida and the Bahamas, growing and eventually replanting corals. To kind of combat, disease and climate change.
And probably pollution.
Yeah.
We don't deserve this earth we live
No,
on.
we don't. But I mean, I don't know, like 125 million and going and towards whatever. And then there was another fun fact about like they've saved like however I don't know the exact number. I didn't. All my numbers are. But they've saved like a crazy amount of acreage of wildlife, like just through their efforts too.
That's amazing.
Which big fan.
Yeah.
They have benches at the parks that are made out of like recycled materials. If you've ever seen the like they're kind of like funky primary colored benches of like animals. They're up at like Rafiki's Planet Watch.
That's so cool.
But they're made out of like water bottles and like plastic containers and stuff. So
now, was all of this, and this may go into your next kind of fun fact, but was all of this Joe Rohde's vision? Like, did he want this to be a place for kids to learn about conservation?
Oh, yeah. So Joe Rohde is the executive designer, lead person behind Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Disney legend, Disney Imagineer.
Yeah.
And he actually, his first project was during Epcot, building Epcot. He was in charge of building models for the Mexico Pavilion. He also did, do you remember Pleasure Island?
Yes.
At Downtown Disney?
Yes.
He worked on that. He worked on the Adventurers Club. It was like a restaurant / dinner show, and it had like this whole backstory about like this league of explorers, like, and that's still like a thing that is woven into a lot of other Disney attractions, like to this day. Mm-hmm. It's wild. Mm-hmm. Look it up, or maybe we'll talk about it. I don't know. But anyway, so he did so much. Like once the idea was accepted and they started working on planning it, he actually brought a live Bengal tiger into the meeting to pitch Animal Kingdom to Michael Eisner in the day. So they went to these places, like I was saying before, like it's heavily based on Africa and Asia at Animal Kingdom, and him and all of the other Imagineers and creative team behind the park went there. They went to these cities and these villages, and they like wanted it to be as authentic as possible. And he, even from like the beginning, never wanted anyone to be like, oh, it's a zoo. Like, it's not a zoo.
Right.
And like, he didn't even want there to be maps. He didn't want there to be signs, like telling you where to go, or you know, Africa's this way, Asia's this way. Like he wanted it to literally be like
You're exploring.
You're exploring.
That's so cool.
But you know, they kind of. And even, I mean, they have signs and stuff now. They don't really have a ton though. Right. I know you're always like, I don't know where to go.
Sometimes.
And I'm like, this way.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom, I do definitely get lost.
But they wanted it to be like as authentic as possible. So a fun thing about how authentic it is Joe Rohde on his social media has put pictures of like Animal Kingdom and the real place that it's inspired by, like side by side, and said, spot the difference.
Wow.
And like, see if people can tell.
That's so crazy.
Because it's like so authentic.
That's amazing. They must have taken a lot of pictures. They must have.
Yeah, a lot of it's in that Nomad Lounge too.
Yeah.
And then there's like documentaries about it too.
It's I'm sure. Cool. That's so cool.
Like, just the detail work that went into it. Like when I worked in Africa, they took us on like a tour the first few days when we were working and just walked us around just that area of the park and explained like every little detail of why it was the way it was.
Man,
like,
I wish I could.
Do you know like when you're walking through the little village, Harambe? There's like all the telephone wires and stuff, and they're all like, they look definitely like not safe, like they're really, like, tangled up and like whatever, and it's like, it's because it's this little town that is like trying to like deal with like how it's gotten so popular with the tourists and like whatever, like
that's so cool.
It's like
there's a story behind it.
Yeah, there's just little details everywhere that are just, and little Easter eggs to the Imagineers who worked on it, like some of the posters that are hanging up of like, oh, go on this safari or whatever, and it's like the Roadie safari or whatever, like little nods to him.
Can you imagine though, like having that type of vision and then seeing it come to fruition, and like how amazing and how detailed and how beautiful it is? Like,
I've seen him a few times too.
Like how you go there and you're probably like, wow, like this is real. Yeah. That's
and then he came back to work on when they made Pandora.
Yes. Yeah.
He did that too. But I had seen him a few times when I was working there. Like he would just be like walking around.
That's crazy.
Not by himself or anything, and you know.
Yeah, he'd be with
not loosey goosey, but like I saw him. I'm like,
Joe Rohde.
I'm like, this is like my idol over here.
Yeah.
With his crazy earrings.
Yeah.
I'm like, he also was like really big into creating Alani.
Oh, nice.
And making that as authentic Hawaiian, or like to the culture of Hawaii as possible.
I've heard that's beautiful.
Because again, I didn't know this. His parents were from Hawaii, and he lived there.
Oh wow, I didn't know that either. Man, what a place to live.
It's crazy.
It's beautiful.
When he was kind of pitching his whole thing, like we talked about, there's the Africa section, the Asia section. There's Rafiki's Planet Watch. Back in the day, there was Camp Mini Mickey.
Yeah.
Remember that? Discovery Island is where the Tree of Life is. But there was supposed to be another land called the Beastly Kingdom.
What?
And it was supposed to be mythological creatures. So it was like, oh, and I didn't mention Dino Land. So it was a mixture of like animals that are real, animals from the past, animals from fantasy.
Wow.
And it was so expensive.
Why don't they?
It was so expensive to make Animal Kingdom. It was like a lot.
Yeah.
That they cut it. They cut Beastly Kingdom. But you can look online, and there are all sorts of like nods to some of the attractions that they did actually make and then ended up scrapping, and like there was like a dragon boat ride, and like there's like I'm telling you, you're going to go down the rabbit hole if you care about this stuff.
But, like, why wouldn't they do that now if they want to replace some of these things? Like, why wouldn't they just go with that?
Because the Imagineers who were supposed to be building that part of the park got laid off when that part got scrapped
Yeah.
and went over to a little park called Universal. And you know the Lost Continent?
Yes.
They took their ideas and made it that.
Dang.
So Dueling Dragons would have been animal. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this.
There was supposed to be a dragon roller coaster. There was supposed to be something with a unicorn, like a unicorn labyrinth, like find the unicorn, or like a boat ride or something. That was supposed to be at Disney, but yeah, the Imagineers got hired by Universal Orlando, and worked at Islands of Adventure to come up with the Lost Continent, which part of it is still there today.
Yeah, yeah.
Not as much, but
right.
You know, you're greeted by that big like griffin.
Yeah, yeah.
Thing. But yeah, it was originally supposed to be there, and even if you're at Animal Kingdom now, and you're walking in to where the tickets booths are, like the one, the main like ticket booth has an elephant, I think, up on the top, like a bust of an elephant.
Yeah.
And then the one on the right hand side has a dinosaur, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the one on the left is a dragon. It's still there.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can look on the merchandise too. Like, Animal Kingdom is usually represented by, it says Animal Kingdom, and then it's got the Tree of Life, and then it's got the silhouettes of animals like walking, and one of them's usually a dragon.
That's cool.
So the remnants of it is like,
still
there, but
that's
incredible. You wouldn't know.
Man, I wish they went back to their roots. Like, that just sounds so incredible.
There's like a video of like this boat ride where like there's these knights that were like on fire. Like, it's these suits of armor that are like empty because they've been like barbecued and like, or like on like a stake or something.
They're all ash.
Like the dragon had like roasted them.
Cool.
Like, there's like you can find it.
I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do that right
We're
after
gonna do
this.
that. My last little fun fact here is that Animal Kingdom is like one of the biggest parks. It's over 500 acres in total, and they have 250 species of animals represented and over 1,000 animals.
Really?
There.
I didn't realize it was that much.
And Kilimanjaro Safaris is 110 acres itself, which could fit the entirety of Magic Kingdom in the safari.
Wow.
You could pick Magic Kingdom up, boop, and put it in the safari.
First of all, I love that for the animals. I mean, we said in the beginning, zoos kind of get a bad rap, but because these animals are in captivity and they don't have space or freedom to roam the way that they would in that big of an area.
Mm-hmm.
So that does
they do so much to like make it as natural as possible, but also just like the way that they interact with the animals and keeping them like enriched and entertained, and like they do stuff to like, you know, pique their interest and keep them active, and like they've trained all the animals to like recognize certain sounds. So at the end of the night when the park starts to close and the animals need to go back into their enclosures until they go back out into the safari in the morning, they play like a sound and the animals know their sound.
That's so interesting.
It's like a different bell or a different whatever, and then the rhinos are like, okay, let's go back to our house.
Why can't we train humans to be
Yeah, right. The animals at Animal Kingdom are better trained than the tourists at Animal Kingdom.
That's 100% fact.
Fill in all the available space, please. Keep up with the party in front of you.
Yeah, for real.
Tug on the yellow safety belt. Tug on the yellow strap.
Anyways, wow, that was amazing. That was really informative, and wow.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
I love Animal Kingdom. I will always love it. I love what they've done with it, and I like that it has kind of stayed the same.
Yeah.
Like, at its roots, it is what it is, sort of thing, and I know we got some changes possibly maybe coming with the removal of It's Tough to Be a Bug into Zootopia, which I'm not the biggest fan of, and the removal of Dino Land, which is, again, not great.
But so again, I mean,
see.
at least...
We'll see.
At least Zootopia has something to do with animals. Like,
right, but
to me, it's like, where do they get Indiana Jones from Animal Kingdom?
Yeah, I don't know. Or
besides
or
expeditions
Encanto,
or like yeah,
the only thing is
Encanto.
the kid.
Yeah.
Antonio.
Yeah.
That's it. He's cute.
Yeah.
But the movie's not about that.
Right. Give us mythological beasts, dude. I'm about that.
I think it's just because it has taken such a huge turn towards intellectual property versus original concept. Like,
which is sad.
The world just wants to see like that stuff. Like the original stuff is like lost on people, I think.
I think so too. I think it's they got to go with what they think people are going to want more.
Yeah.
Which is basic ass shit.
Unfortunately, yeah. But I mean, again, we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, they still
be amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, we can't shit on the Imagineers because clearly they've made it this far to make these.
I know. I just don't like it. I want to know what Joe Rohde thinks. I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it to ruin what Animal Kingdom is supposed to be.
Right.
Like, it's about the animals.
Right.
It's about the animals. It's about the environment. It's not about Disney movies. You know what I mean?
Yep. Definitely. 100%. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next episode we will do together will be about Hollywood Studios, which is my favorite. But you will also hear some more about HHN because that's coming up.
So many announcements.
Yes.
So little time. Just kidding. We have like 3 months.
That's not a lot of time, though.
For our trip, it starts in August, so that's actually a lot sooner.
Yep.
Yeah. As they say on Kilimanjaro Safaris, we don't say goodbye. That is far too permanent, far too sad. So we say Kwaherini, which means go well, and we'll see you again.